Hello, knowledge seekers. In this episode of 20-Minute Books, we delve into Option B, a profoundly moving narrative that stems from the personal tragedy of Sheryl Sandberg, the chief operating officer at Facebook. After the sudden death of her husband, Sandberg plunges into a profound mourning, grappling with the immeasurable loss and the daunting task of moving forward. This book is co-authored with Adam Grant, a distinguished psychologist at the University of Pennsylvania's Wharton School, known for his insightful writings on human behavior and resilience. Together, they explore the journey of overcoming grief and rediscovering joy. Option B is not just a story about loss. It's a roadmap to resilience, offering valuable lessons on facing adversity with perseverance and courage. Sandberg's personal account is interwoven with Grant's psychological insights, providing a multidimensional approach to dealing with life's unpredictability and hardships. This book sheds light on the grieving process, the importance of finding meaning in life and death, and the power of support from loved ones in navigating through the darkest times. Ideal for grief counselors, individuals navigating personal challenges, and those looking to support others in times of sorrow. Option B empowers readers to face adversity head-on and to embrace life's Option B with grace and strength. Through Sandberg's journey and Grant's research, we learn that it's possible to find growth and happiness even after experiencing profound loss. Option B: facing adversity, building resilience, and finding joy. Introduction: embrace resilience, finding strength in Option B. In the quiet corridors of Facebook's bustling campus, Sheryl Sandberg, the company's chief operating officer, faced a personal tragedy that would redefine her understanding of grief, resilience, and joy. At just 45 years old, Sandberg confronted the unimaginable, the sudden death of her beloved husband, Dave. With two young children looking up to her for strength and guidance, the veil of shock and grief seemed insurmountable. In the throes of despair, Sandberg found an unexpected source of comfort and hope: the wisdom and research shared by a compassionate friend. This guidance wasn't just a lifeline, it was a roadmap through the wilderness of loss. At one point, overwhelmed by the yearning for a life that could no longer be, Sandberg expressed a desperate wish to return to the days with Dave, the days of Option A. Her friend's gentle but firm response was a pivotal moment. Option A was gone, but the journey through Option B held the promise of rediscovering joy and strength. This narrative isn't just Sandberg's story. It's an invitation to anyone wrestling with loss. It offers insights into navigating the treacherous terrain of grief with the 3 Ps that perpetuate suffering, understanding and avoiding the mum effect, which can isolate those in mourning, the necessity of a panic button for those moments when grief becomes overwhelming. Through Sandberg's journey, we learn that while the scars of loss may never fully disappear, the path forward is built on the bedrock of resilience, the embrace of our shared humanity, and the pursuit of joy amidst sorrow. This is the essence of living fully in Option B. Part 1: Navigating through grief with the 3 Ps. Trauma can often catch us off guard, wrapping its cold hands around our reality and reshaping the way we see the world, the future, and ourselves. In the wake of such events, it's common to fall into patterns of thinking that psychologists have carefully mapped out. Among them, Martin Seligman's concept of the 3 Ps stands as a beacon, guiding those lost in the darkness of their own thoughts. First among these treacherous companions is personalization, the instinct to shoulder the blame for events beyond our control. Sheryl Sandberg's story serves as a poignant example. After the sudden death of her husband during a vacation that was supposed to be a joyful retreat, Sandberg found herself tangled in a web of self-blame. Despite the autopsy revealing the true cause of death as cardiac arrhythmia, not the accidental fall initially suspected, Sandberg was haunted by what-ifs. She tormented herself with the thought that she could have done more to prevent this tragedy, showcasing the heavy burden that personalization can impose. Then there's pervasiveness, the feeling that the gloom of the tragedy has seeped into every corner of your life. For Sandberg, returning to work and resuming normal activities became Herculean tasks, as the shadow of her husband's absence loomed large over every moment and interaction. This illustrates how grief left unchecked can spread like a stain, touching every aspect of one's life with its chilling fingers. Last in this triad is permanence, the crippling belief that the pain is an endless tunnel with no light in sight. This is where hope fades and despair takes its throne, convincing us that happiness is a closed chapter in the book of our lives. Yet, as daunting as these three P's sound, they are not unbeatable foes. The journey through the dense fog they create is not a solitary one, nor is it impossible to navigate. Sandberg's own story does not end in the clutches of the three P's. As we explore further, we discover strategies and rays of hope that offer guidance on how to reclaim one's life from the shadow of grief, proving that even in our darkest moments, a return to joy and meaning is within reach. Part 2. Building Resilience, a Lighthouse in the Storm. Imagine moving through life as though wrapped in a lead blanket, each step heavy, each breath a labor. This vivid metaphor from one of Sheryl Sandberg's friends perfectly encapsulates the tangible weight of grief, yet within this somber cloak of sorrow lies a kernel of hope. The path forward, though obscured, beckons with the promise of resilience. Resilience isn't merely bouncing back from adversity, it's an intimate dance with reality, acknowledging that pain is woven into the fabric of existence alongside joy. This understanding mirrors the first noble truth of Buddhism, which states that to live is to suffer. True liberation, then, comes not from evading pain, but from embracing the entirety of the human experience, the bitter with the sweet. The cultivation of resilience invites us to balance our familiarity with suffering, with a deliberate recognition of joy. One practical tool in this endeavor is the daily emotional log. Such a practice doesn't just involve a passive record of feelings, it's an active engagement with them. By acknowledging each emotion as it arises, we grant ourselves permission to process and eventually release them, sidestepping the trap of bottled-up sentiments. For Sandberg, this took the form of a nightly ritual, jotting down 3 moments of joy she experienced during the day, no matter how minor they seemed. Additionally, she began to document achievements, cultivating a sense of progress and capability. These actions, seemingly insignificant on their own, collectively serve as powerful reminders that joy and achievement are persistently accessible even in the depths of mourning. This exercise in mindful appreciation reveals a universal truth. All lives are tapestries of light and shadow. Those we perceive as perpetually buoyant are not immune to life's troughs. They have simply honed the art of resilience. They've mastered the skill of detecting the silver lining amidst the storms, fully aware that sunlit days lie ahead. Through nurturing resilience, the journey through grief can transform from an arduous trek under a leaden shroud to a voyage towards rediscovering joy, with each step lightened by the strength we've mustered along the way. Part 3. Reclaiming Happiness Amidst Grief. Grief has a way of casting a long shadow over life's joys, often leaving those who are mourning feeling guilty for any moment of happiness they dare to experience. This phenomenon, where laughter feels like betrayal and pleasure feels undeserved, complicates the path to healing. Yet, embracing joy is not just a possibility during grief, it's a crucial step towards resilience. Survivor's remorse is a significant hurdle in this journey. It whispers questions like, "Why me?" and "Why not me?" into the ears of those who have lost someone, adding a burdensome layer of guilt to their sorrow. This type of guilt can manifest in various scenarios, not only in the wake of death but also in situations like job layoffs, where one might feel guilty for remaining employed while colleagues are dismissed. However, an essential realization awaits on the other side of this emotional turbulence. Those we've lost likely wouldn't want their absence to be a wellspring of perpetual sorrow for us. They would hope for us to find happiness again, to laugh without restraint, and to cherish life even more in their honor. This doesn't mean forgetting or moving on from the memories of loved ones. Instead, it's about integrating our experiences of loss into a richer, more nuanced understanding of life, where happiness and sorrow intertwine. Consider the story of Virginia, a friend of Sheryl Sandberg, whose life was touched by profound loss not once, but twice. Despite the heartbreaking timing of these losses, she chose to proceed with her daughter's wedding immediately after facing the tragedy of her son's death. Virginia's actions underscore a powerful message. Life, with all its complexities, must go on. She channeled her grief into purpose by engaging in drug prevention efforts, honoring her son's memory by striving to prevent similar tragedies in others' lives. Embracing joy in times of sorrow is not a betrayal, but an act of courage and defiance against despair. It may come through rediscovering old passions like Sheryl, who found solace in playing the piano, or through new hobbies that light a spark within us. These activities aren't just distractions, they're affirmations of life, testaments to our capacity for resilience, and tributes to those we've lost, celebrating their influence in our continuing journey. In essence, learning to invite joy back into our lives amidst grief is not only a tribute to those we've lost, but a vital component of our healing process. It's a delicate balance, one that acknowledges the depth of our loss while also honoring our innate capacity to embrace life with all its beauty and complexity. Part 4. Finding Strength Together, the Collective Power of Resilience. In the chilling expanse of the Andes Mountains, a story unfolded in 1972 that would forever underscore the profound capacity for human resilience, even in the face of unimaginable adversity. This narrative revolves around the Uruguayan rugby team, whose flight met a tragic fate, resulting in a crash that left its survivors grappling with the harshest elements nature could muster, against a backdrop of deadly freezing conditions, starvation, and threat of avalanches. 16 out of the 33 crash survivors managed to hold on to life through sheer will, hope, and the unparalleled strength found in their unity. Their survival was marked by harrowing decisions, including the necessity to sustain themselves on the frozen remains of those who had not survived the crash. Despite the dire circumstances, a flicker of hope was kept alive by sharing dreams of the future and the cherished memories of loved ones, even when faced with the heart-wrenching news that the search for them had been abandoned. The key to their perseverance lay not just in the unwavering spirit of hope, but in the actionable steps they took towards survival, a concept psychologists refer to as grounded hope. This wasn't hope that passively awaited rescue, it was hope that propelled action, be it scavenging for supplies or embarking on dangerous treks in search of salvation. Their ingenious use of the plane's remains for shelter and sleeping bags demonstrates the power of collective ingenuity and determination to make incremental improvements to their dire situation. Ultimately, their resilience bore fruit as they navigated the treacherous terrain to encounter a local man on horseback, securing their long-awaited rescue. The shared ordeal not only tested, but also highlighted the incredible strength that arises from human connection and mutual support in the face of adversity. This harrowing tale offers a poignant lesson on the healing potential of communal resilience. For those navigating the turbulent waves of grief, support groups embody this same spirit of shared strength and hope. In these spaces, individuals are met with empathy, understanding, and encouragement, each person's journey enriching the collective path toward healing. Just as the survivors in the Andes drew strength from one another to envision and strive for a return to civilization, individuals in support groups harness the power of shared experiences to foster hope, set goals, and take actionable steps toward reclaiming joy and navigating the journey of grief together. Part 5. Breaking the Silence. the power of acknowledging pain. In a world where grief often renders its subjects invisible, the path of least resistance, to sidestep around the perimeter of someone's pain, seems the most appealing. This instinct, while well-intentioned, tends to deepen the chasm of isolation for those engulfed in mourning. The tendency to maintain a facade of normalcy, to discuss anything but the elephant in the room, is not uncommon. This phenomenon, known as the mum effect, underscores a discomfort with pain and suffering that many feel, driving them to act as if everything is fine in the presence of someone who's clearly suffering. The silence that envelops the grieving is often more than just a lack of words. It's a void that engulfs them, making their pain feel unrecognized and their presence invisible. Sheryl Sandberg's experience vividly illustrates this. In the aftermath of her husband's passing, she found herself surrounded by people, yet felt profoundly alone. Dinner conversations that skirted around her loss, casual encounters that ignored her new reality, all contributed to a sense of being unseen. However, acknowledging someone's grief doesn't require grand gestures. Often, it's the simplest acts that carry the most weight. When people asked Sandberg, "How are you today?" the insertion of that one word, today, signaled a recognition of her ongoing struggle, a nod to the fact that grief is a journey with ups and downs. This seemingly small modification in phrasing opens a door to genuine connection, offering the grieving person a chance to share their reality without the pressure of painting it over with a veneer of, "I'm fine." Furthermore, physical expressions of support such as a hug can be a powerful conduit of empathy, offering solace in a moment of loneliness. It's a silent acknowledgement that, though words may fail us, our presence and willingness to share in their burden of pain do not go unnoticed. In navigating the delicate terrain of grief, the lesson is clear. Fear of saying the wrong thing should not deter us from saying anything at all. Reaching out, acknowledging the pain, and simply being there can illuminate the dark corridors of someone's mourning journey. It confirms that they do not walk alone, that their pain is seen, and that their healing matters. In the end, it's these connections, these moments of understanding and shared humanity, that fortify the spirit and nurture resilience amidst the deepest of sorrows. Part 6. Transforming Empathy into Action. The Importance of Specific Support. When faced with the devastating blow of grief, the first instincts of friends and family often revolve around finding ways to express sympathy and offer support. While empathy lays the foundation for connection, it's the actionable steps that truly make a difference in the lives of those grappling with loss. To extend a hand effectively, it's vital to transform our intentions into specific actions that can alleviate the burden of everyday challenges for the bereaved. The concept of providing a metaphorical panic button to those in distress draws parallels with an intriguing 1971 experiment by social psychologists David C. Glass and Jerome Singer. In their study, participants subjected to disruptive noise showed signs of stress unless they were given a panic button, a symbolic assurance of control, and the option for relief. Interestingly, the mere presence of the button, despite being unused, offered a sense of empowerment that mitigated stress and fostered resilience. This experiment underscores a profound lesson. The reassurance of accessible support can be a powerful antidote to anxiety and stress. Embodying this principle, Adam Grant, the co-author of Option B, shares a poignant response to the tragedy of a student's suicide by offering his personal contact as a lifeline to students facing overwhelming adversity. This gesture of providing a direct line for help exemplifies the tangible effects of making support readily available and explicitly expressed. To transcend the limitations of the often vague offering, "Let me know if you need anything," it's crucial to propose specific forms of assistance. General offers, though well-meaning, place the onus on the grieving individual to identify their needs and solicit help, a task that can feel insurmountable amid the fog of grief. Instead, concrete proposals such as grocery shopping, assisting with household chores, or accompanying them in their search for a new home embody a more accessible form of support. This specificity not only alleviates the immediate burdens faced by those grieving, but also communicates a deeper level of care and understanding. In essence, the path to effectively supporting someone in grief involves moving beyond mere words of empathy to offering practical, specific actions that ease their journey through sorrow. By becoming a reliable panic button and proactively identifying ways to help, we can create a safety net that brings genuine relief and demonstrates our commitment to standing alongside them in their time of need. Final summary. At the heart of life's most daunting challenges lies the potential for growth, healing, and resurgence of hope. The essence of navigating through loss, trauma, and the myriad adversities life throws our way is encapsulated in the profound journey towards resilience and the rekindling of joy. This path teaches us that recovery is not a solitary endeavor, but one enriched by the support and understanding of our community and loved ones. The process of healing encourages us to lean on the strength found within groups and the compassionate presence of friends, reminding us that our burdens need not be carried alone. For those around us navigating through their storms of grief, the assumption that solitude grants them space to heal is often a misguided one. In such times, what truly makes a difference is our ability to step forward, to recognize and validate their suffering, and to extend our hands in practical, tangible ways. Whether it's offering a listening ear, acknowledging their pain without fear of saying the wrong thing, or providing specific assistance with day-to-day tasks, our actions serve as beacons of hope and solidarity. By doing so, we not only contribute to their process of healing, but also rediscover our own capacity for empathy, kindness, and humanity. In essence, the narrative woven through the pages of this book serves as a powerful reminder that, amidst the inevitable losses we face, resting within us and around us is an inexhaustible wellspring of resilience, strength, and the ever-present possibility for joy to bloom once again. It is through embracing these truths, through opening our hearts and lending our hands, that we find our way back to light together. Thank you for joining me today on this journey of learning and discovery as we explored the insights of another thought-provoking book in our growing library of knowledge. If you've enjoyed our time together, please take a moment to follow our podcast, give us a 5-star rating, and share 20-minute books with other knowledge seekers. Your support truly means a lot. Don't forget to join me again in the next episode, where we will delve into another enriching book. Until then, happy reading and happy listening.